Let me see it. Let me see it here. We're all emotional eaters, but there's more to it. There's the stress from daily life, balancing work and family, personal responsibilities. How much time does that leave you to take care of yourself for self-care? Not a whole lot, right? Well, that's where this last bullet point comes into play: time and energy constraints. You're never going to struggle with that again, because I'm going to simplify all this and show you how to save time. Who's ready to dive in? Let's see. Yay. Geraldine said, yay. I love that. Colleen with a big woohoo. Okay, well, let's get in. First of all, what I want to tell you, the struggles that you're dealing with, they are not your fault. I'm going to say it again. They are not your fault. And I know that you think it is. And I know, because we failed so many times, sometimes we just feel like failures. But it is not your fault. And it's because you have not been equipped with all of the tools you need. This is the equivalent of trying to climb a mountain in flip-flops. Like, you ain't going to get very far. You're going to try. You're going to put in a lot of effort. You're going to bleed. It's going to suck. And you're not going to make it to the top. But it's not your fault. Nobody told you you needed mountain climbing shoes for this journey with fitness that you're on. You've probably tried to eat healthy and tried fitness programs before. You lead a busy life. You prioritize your family over your own health and self-care. Am I right? We've got a lot of ladies on this call tonight, and a lot of men too, but a lot of ladies. Who prioritizes their families over yourself? Yep. Yep. Roxanne said, yep. Yeah, exactly. You're tired of quick fixes that don't offer results. Oh my God, my hair is in my eyelash. Sorry. And you're looking for sustainable, science-backed solutions. That's what I do. And that's what I'm going to give you here tonight. You're also wanting a no-nonsense coach who provides actionable advice and real results. Also what I do. I am your social media coach. Hi. So tonight, what I'm going to show you is, no matter where you are right now in your life, I want you to look at this scale and kind of find out where you are. At the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you how to move 3 steps to the right. So kind of get that in your mind. Like, where do you kind of fit in this? And if you're at the last one on the right, then I don't know what you're doing here. Like, you're probably in better shape than I am. But the point is, we're going to move you 3 steps to the right. Does that sound exciting? Tell me that sounds exciting. And once you get to the 3 steps, if you're not where you want to be, it's just rinse, or it's wash, rinse, and repeat. And we'll do it all over again. But you're going to have sustainable results to do that. And then I want to talk to you very quickly about my background, so you have complete confidence in me. You guys know that I used to be a 280-pound bodybuilder. That is me on the left. And that's actually not at 280 pounds. It was 265 pounds there. And I hovered about 6 to 8% body fat. But my journey was trying to understand how to go from that big, very handsome guy on the left, I know, so small, right? To who I am now, using the tactics that I know that work. I've got 20 years of professional experience. For anybody that doesn't know, licensed sports nutritionist, CPT. I have a bachelor's of science degree. I've got a bazillion certifications on my wall back here from the National Association of Sports Nutrition. I've been featured on the Tamron Hall Show twice, Breakfast Television Live in Canada, Sportsnet, been written up in the New York Times twice, and so many other publications and TV appearances. The list would go on forever. But it is because of the knowledge that I bring. And former WWE superstar. I was on Raw, SmackDown, ECW, Superstars. I was on NXT before it was like a major show. It was like the hidden internet show. But now I'm one of the US's most trusted health advisors, as you can see from my my resume of appearing on TV and being written up so many times. I have been through a buttload of journeys in my life. I've lived so many lifetimes. And I'm going to look this way so I can keep an eye on the chat on my secondary monitor for you guys, just in case something happens again. But I've lived a lot of lifetimes. And one of the things that happened is I gained 30 pounds when I started my transition. It sucked, man. I got onto estrogen, progesterone, and androgen blockers, and I wanted to eat the damn house. But this is what happened. This was me here at 30 pounds heavier. I was trying to balance eating carbs, hunger cravings. I was trying to balance hormones. And this is what happened. It was a vicious cycle of I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw, so I ate. And that made me happy for a time being. It slowed down what I was doing. It made me happy. I disconnected from the world. It raised my serotonin, my dopamine levels. The serotonin is your happy hormone. Dopamine reinforces the activity that you were just doing. And then I looked in the mirror the next morning and I hated myself. I hated myself. It was this vicious cycle. And I was not feeling adequate at all. Not in the least. I hated every moment of that. I tried crash dieting. It didn't help. I tried starving myself. It didn't help. And I tried cheat days. It didn't help, because in the end, what happened is that I would just go eat. I would go scarce for like 3 or 4 days. I go super low cal. I'm like, I can do this. And then day 4 or 5, I just binge. Same with I tried fasting, like extended fasts early on. Did not work. And I'm going to be point blank honest. I share some things here that I can't share on social media. Like I said earlier, there were times when I would just go so scarce. I'd have those binge moments, and I'd order like an extra large pizza. I'd just eat it all. I'd go have Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I'd eat it all. I have pound cake. I'd eat it all. I'd sit for 45 minutes and I'd go eat more until the food would pass like my stomach into my esophagus up to here, literally backing up in my throat. I could feel it. And I remember the kicker was I got up off the couch. I was in the loft back here watching a movie, and I sat up and my stomach muscles flexed and I threw up because I had so much food in my esophagus. That was the moment I knew that I needed to change. Like I puked all over my coffee table. It was horrendous. I was so embarrassed and ashamed of who I was at that moment. And I knew that I needed to change my habits immediately, because that was just a downward spiral from that point. And it's not, if you're struggling with that, this is not a knock at you. It's just me saying, I understand. I've been there. And I get emotional sometimes when I think about that time, because it was so hard. But I couldn't be who I needed to be. This woman on the left, how is she supposed to be an internationally renowned fitness coach and change millions of lives? How was I supposed to run a company? How was I supposed to go out in public and show people that I was walking the walk that I talked? I couldn't. There was no way. And I was supposed to be an inspiration for everybody. I just could not be the person that I was expected to be. But I didn't do it once. I did it twice. I lost the weight twice. I've gotten really good at not taking photos when I'm overweight now. But if you go down my social media, you'll see it crept on. But I had to do it a second time. The first was hormones and depression. The second, does anybody know how I lost it the second time? Any ideas? Yeah, it's because I made my return to the wrestling ring. That is me on my re-debut. I was out 12 years from WWE. I decided to go back to the wrestling ring. And I was in ketosis. I was using ketogenic nutrition for 12 years. When I got back into the ring, because it is so high intensity, because the heart rate, when you're in there for so long, it's pinging off maximum. If you don't have carbs, your body's going to try to take muscle and turn it into fuel. And that slows you down. You lose muscle mass and you're a slug in the ring and you look like crap. I had to find the balance of eating just enough carbohydrates to be at peak performance while maintaining a TV-ready physique. Imagine that. So whether I went 6 minutes in the ring I was scheduled for or 26 minutes, I had to know exactly how many carbs to have. That is rough. But why? What was the driver? It's because I had millions of people watching my re-debut. I sold out the Irvine Spectrum Improv at 46 years old. I returned to wrestling after a 12-year hiatus. I did the impossible. I had a physique that most athletes could only dream of. I don't use steroids. I used to back in the day, a long time ago. I didn't use anything. It was nutrition and it was a dedicated exercise routine. I sold out. I had millions watching. I had to prove that I could do this. That's a powerful why. But the point of this and why I'm telling you this is that I want you to know that you can change anything in your life. That's the old person on the left. That's me back in a WWE ring last year. That's Natalia Neidhart on the right, if you guys know who she is. She was on Total Divas, one of my really good friends. That's her ring. I was training with her last year. But this is me telling you, like, I'm just a normal human being. And I know sometimes I'm not looked at like that because I'm on social media, but I'm a normal human with normal struggles. And you can change anything. I'm going to show you how to do it tonight. But it's important to understand now why. Why do I do this consistently? Why have I been doing it for 20 years? It's people like Sarah Lindsay here. She's one of my clients. She lost 52 pounds on my program. Her goal was to run a 5K. That's all she wanted to do. But she wanted to be happier. She wanted to be healthier. She's got more energy now, way higher activity level, and she can run a 5K with her eyes closed on her treadmill. That right there, that is fulfilling. Like I said, I've coached over 2,300 clients to success. We have a 4.8 out of 5-star rating when it comes to our reviews. That's me on Breakfast Television with Meredith. But this is what I live for. I live for seeing my clients be fulfilled. When they hit their goals, we're doing it together. And it's life-changing. It spills over into every other aspect of their life. They become more confident. They become better mothers, brothers, fathers, friends, coworkers. They go start businesses. They excel in their work. I love watching it. It's truly fulfilling. So quick recap, and then we'll dive into everything. Today's session, you are going to learn how to lose 30 pounds without using a gym. Who wants to lose 30 pounds or somewhere in that range? You may not have that much to lose, but who wants to know how to do that? Raise your hand and say, I. Show me, because I'm telling you, if it was this easy, everybody would do it. If they just knew about this webinar, they'd be in your shoes and they'd have all the stuff they're going to need in about 15, 20 minutes here. Get an understanding of how to do it sustainably. So no matter what your environment, your circumstances, your situation, whether you had an argument with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you got 6 kids you're trying to get to soccer practice or volleyball, you're going to understand how to do it. And you're going to understand how to do it the right way, which is the Glow way. Glow is my company, guided lifestyle optimization that I founded. I started as my coaching company. But the old way is under eating, overtraining, doing all these trendy, but not so effective exercises. It all looks good on social media, but doesn't work. The new way, which is my Glow way, sustainable methods with visible results, balanced lifestyle. Life is about balance. Look what I brought for you guys. This is my Life is About Balance shirt. Where's my camera? There it is. I have a shirt that literally says life is about balance. It is my motto. Balanced lifestyle. Efficient techniques that use science to ensure progress. You ready? 58, ready to give up? Susan, don't give up, honey. I coach clients into their 70s that get incredible progress. At 58, you are just beginning. Excuse me. Okay. Who's ready for the 5 steps? Let's go. Who's in this? Show me. Show me. Raise your hand. Say, you want one of those shirts? It's in my link tree. Yeah, they're there. All right. Taking notes? You guys taking notes? Let's go. Step number 1, ditch the diets. They don't work. They suck, right? Diets suck. And if we know they don't work, why do we keep doing them over and over again? If we know diets don't work, why do we keep doing them over and over again? This is the biggest change I made. I usually like to save like the biggest punch for the end so that you get some good stuff and I leave you the big whammy. But I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest change I made when I was losing those 30 pounds was ditching the packaged and processed foods. I focused on whole foods versus big calorie restrictions. And I shifted my mindset from eating less to eating right. And I'm going to tell you what eating right includes, because we're going to talk about burning fat and how to eat for burning fat. But if you're watching my social media, I go into depth about this all the time. And it's so important we have a foundation for the rest of this webinar. If you understand that processed and packaged foods, the stuff that we buy in the store and then we cook or we eat very quickly, things like fast food, sugary snacks, refined carbs, those sorts of things. Things like this, Good Crisps. If it's not the original, guess what's in it? Additives that I talk about all the time, like maltodextrin. So this one has tapioca starch and maltodextrin in it. Maltodextrin, very simple carbohydrate, converts quickly to glucose, which is your blood sugar. I'm going to talk about blood sugar and why it's important, even if you're not diabetic. Because what happens is when your blood sugar rises from all these additives in your packaged and processed foods, 2 major things happen. Insulin's released by the pancreas. And if you don't use that energy from things like this or this liquid IV here that's got 10 or 12 grams of sugar, whatever it is in it, that we think is helping us and hydrating us, if you don't use that energy immediately, what's going to happen is within 45 minutes, your body is going to start shuttling that to your long-term energy source. Do you know what that is? Who knows what it is? Jill, I see you. We've got diabetics on here. What is your long-term energy storage on your body? It's body fat. Yeah. So you can be in a deficit. You can be starving yourself. You can be in a calorie restriction. You can be trying everything, but on those meals that you eat, you're eating small amounts of this, or you're having a liquid IV, or you're eating packaged and processed foods you buy at the store, or a little bit of fast food. They spike your blood sugar, and you are just shuttling all of that energy to body fat. And we wonder why we don't make progress. Sound familiar? I've tried everything, and I can't lose weight. It's because the food industry has set us up to fail, and we're eating these packaged and processed foods. But it also increases hunger cravings. So when you eat carbohydrates and sugars, we have 2 hunger hormones. We have leptin, we have ghrelin. Ghrelin is what's responsible for you being hangry. Hangry is hungry and angry. You guys know what that is? Yeah. So When you're done eating carbs and sugars, or anything that has these kind of additives in it, like maltodextrin, modified food starch, anything time you see modified and then starch afterwards, it's just another form of maltodextrin. Dextrose is just sugar. Any of these additives, as your stomach starts to empty, that hunger hormone ghrelin goes way up dramatically. And then you just get ravenously freaking hungry. And that's where the binging starts. You guys here okay? Yeah, so you can, okay, good. You get hangry. Good, good, good. Will this be available later? Keeps cutting in and out. Yes, I will find a way to make it available for you guys. I'm so sorry it's cutting in and out. But, okay, what is important is to learn how whole foods, things like lean proteins, fiber-rich carbs, healthy fats, how they stabilize your blood sugar and they reduce inflammation. So when we eat things like protein and more protein, healthy fats, veggies, our blood sugar doesn't rise the way it does when we eat carbohydrates. And so suddenly we are not eating to pack on fat. We are actually eating to fuel our body, and we are losing body fat from the efforts we are putting in that we typically wouldn't see any results with. So things like polycystic ovarian syndrome, diabetes, other autoimmune disorders like hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's. All these things come into play as your insulin is very high. And by switching to whole foods, it was the easiest thing I did. And it made the biggest change because I was no longer starving in between meals. And I knew that when I was eating to get to my goal rather than eating and it was going to hold me back. I knew I was going to win when I was eating whole foods. So one tip, you ready? Write this down. Focus on eating single ingredient foods 80% of the time. And I'll get to my 80-20 rule later. But 80% of the time, single ingredient foods. So things like protein. We can look at single ingredients for protein. That would be any meat. So like chicken, ground beef, ground lamb, turkey, sliced chicken, whatever you like. But eggs, whey protein, plant-based proteins. Those are your protein sources, single ingredient. Then you throw, or maybe a carbohydrate in there. So complex carbs, things like oats, quinoa, bulgur, wheat bread, brown rice, those sorts of things. Those are all single ingredients. And then we got nuts, we got veggies. We start putting single ingredients and we control what we eat versus going to like a Whole Foods bar. I'm doing a video on Whole Foods, by the way, just so you guys know. I'm doing another one and I'm going to show you what to choose when you get there. But we get to like a hot bar and we're like, oh, I'll take this and this. And it's all pre-made and slathered in dressings and seed oils and tons of spices that have maltodextrin in it. And it looks healthy. We think we're getting a good, healthy salad. But what's actually happening is what should be a 300 or 400 calorie salad is really like 900 calories and has all these other additives in it that's holding us back. So the short version is you don't need to starve to lose weight. You just need to fuel your body correctly. Remember flip-flops climbing a mountain? You just need to strap on those mountain climbing shoes and the rest is going to be history. So focus on whole healthy foods. Remember, processed foods every time, they will spike your insulin levels because glucose, your blood sugar will rise. You're going to get more hungry. But when you eat whole foods, you're going to be satiated more in between those meals because it will control those hunger cravings. Honestly, I can say this confidently and without a doubt. The best thing I did to build my foundation of losing that 30 pounds was to control the hunger by switching to whole foods. It was the most important thing I did. From Wendy's to weight loss. And I want to show you why. So here we have a standard fast food meal. And we've got 1,500 effing calories in this thing. Who has fast food from time to time? Raise your hand. I don't anymore, but I used to. So I know the struggle. Who has, who likes Whataburger, McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or Wendy's or any of these places? Who goes there occasionally? Let's dive into this because this is what we're really dealing with when you look at this kind of stuff. Heather, Eamon, May, Jill, Mary. Yes. So, okay. Thank you for your honesty, first of all. And I'm not knocking you. I just want you to have a really good comparison of what's happening. So all these calories, 81 grams of fat with most of them being saturated fats, 147 grams of carbohydrates. What do you think that's going to do to your blood sugar? Is it going to keep it stabilized or is it going to send it through the roof and you're going to start shuttling that to body fat very quickly? It's going to be the latter. It's going to be the second one. You might have 59 grams of protein in it, but with all this other crap, it really doesn't matter at that point. Plus, your body can only synthesize so much protein. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you have 1,800 milligrams of sodium here. 1,800 milligrams of sodium. The average recommended dose of sodium per day by the CDC is 2,300 milligrams. That is almost all your sodium for the day. Did you know that when you ingest more sodium, it creates more hunger cravings? Did anybody know that? There was a 2017 study that was done with astronauts, and they fed them, I believe it was around 6,000 milligrams of sodium a day. They did not get hungry. They got what? I'm sorry, they didn't get thirsty. I spoiled it. They didn't get thirsty. They got hungry. And what happens is you start holding a ton of water weight. So again, by eating these packaged and processed foods that are loaded in sodium, because the companies know that we like sodium and it satiates, it wants us getting more. We love the taste of it. Or you have these little electrolyte packets. I'm going to do a whole video on this here very soon too. We're just sucking down more sodium when the average person doesn't need it. It's just stacking water weight on you. So that's why you look in the mirror and you feel bloated. You don't feel bloated. You are bloated. You know, the muffin top, you got to put on a shirt and your pants just kind of, I'm like, I hate water weight. It sucks. And I know when I've had high sodium because I have that problem. But let's look at a whole foods idea. Now, this is not the perfect meal. I just kind of grabbed something for a comparison that had kind of close macros. But look at this. Look at the size of that meal there. Pretty comparable, right? When you look at it, not even 1,200 calories in that. 69 grams of fat. So we're way less fat. Carbs are a fraction of what you saw in the fast food meal. But they're coming from where? They're not coming from simple carbohydrates that completely raise your blood sugar. And now we all know that we need to be concerned with blood sugar, even if you're not diabetic, because what? Shuttles more nutrients to body fat when your blood sugar is high and you don't use it. It's coming from the sweet potatoes. It's coming from the broccoli. Fibrous carbs. And some of it's coming from the yogurt and the berries. And I'm sure there's some sugar in there. But again, not the perfect meal, but I'm just giving you an example. And then a gigantic steak with 78 grams of protein. Like, I dare you to eat that and not be full. And like a minuscule amount of sodium compared to what's in the other one. So if you eat the one on the left, hunger cravings, fat gain instantaneously. If you eat the one on the right, which are whole foods with, look, single ingredient foods, steak, broccoli, sweet potatoes. Yeah, you follow me there? You're going to be so much more satiated. The veggies slow down your digestive process. So it helps the digestion to slow down so you don't get hungry right away. What else? Protein suppresses ghrelin, that hunger hormone. If you eat that, you're going to be full for hours. I guarantee it. And you won't shuttle as much of that to body fat. So quick recap. Ditch the diet. Focus on whole foods. The biggest step for me was ditching the sugar, the processed foods, and the hunger cravings. Within days, they went to almost zero. Imagine not having these crazy hunger cravings and knowing that every time you ate, you were getting closer to your goal. Speaking of which, let's talk about foods that burn fat rather than store it. Okay. Is that a good meal prep? It depends on the person, Evelyn. I can help you with that then. All right, let's look at fat burning foods. So now that I had switched to eating whole foods in my weight loss journey, losing these 30 pounds, my hunger was doing better, but I focused on foods that increase my metabolism. These are secrets that make massive differences. So does anybody know which foods actually increase your metabolism? If you do, put it in the comments. Let's see. Put it in the comments while I go through this. There is this thing, excuse me, it's called the thermic effect of food. And so when we eat, there is a percentage of calories that we eat that goes towards just burning and processing that food. So it's about 10% is what it boils down to. So if I eat 100 calories of food, about 10 of those calories is our body's going to use to burn the food and digest it and get all the nutrients where it needs to go. But there is one macro. So macros are protein, carbs, and fats. There is one macro that has far higher thermogenic effect, basically, than any of the others. It is protein. Protein has a thermic effect of 20 to 30%. So if I eat 100 calories of protein, 20 to 30 of those calories are going towards burning that protein, digesting it, breaking it down into branched chain amino acids and pushing it all up in my muscles so my muscles can grow, the organs can do okay, and getting it everywhere where it needs to be. That's huge. That's 20 to 30% over the other ones. That's incredible. So the more protein you have, the more calories you're going to burn. Now, also, Protein is awesome because when you eat more of it, you tend to eat less carbohydrates and fats in the same meal. So it doesn't directly burn body fat per se, but you're having fewer calories get shuttled to body fat. It also does not raise your blood sugar. How about that? So because you're eating fewer calories from carbs and fats, you're getting a higher thermic effect of food. When you eat more protein, you're eating to burn fat, literally eating to burn fat. And protein suppresses that hunger hormone, ghrelin, I talked about. So in between meals, it does not spike the way it would before. So we are truly eating for fuel, not for fat. Okay. Let's take some real world examples here. Who's had Panda Express before? Put it in the comments if you had Panda Express or you've had something similar, some Chinese food. Let me see it. Because this right here, this was my lunch every day when I worked at the city of Dana Point in California as an assistant engineer when I was in my 20s. I would go down to Panda Express on my lunch break down here. I worked at the city of Dana Point, so it's close to Salt Creek. And I would get this exact meal. So I get the orange chicken, the beef and broccoli, the chow mein, and the fried rice, the little fortune cookie on the side, and I get a drink. And I would just pound that thing on lunch. And I'd leave a little bit so I could have a snack later, but I would have energy for like 25 minutes. I'm like, yes, I feel good. I get back to the office and I start typing and I'm just like, oh crap, I can't focus. And what's that? That's the crash. That's the carb coma after your blood sugar gets super high. And so then what would I do? I'd kind of eat a little bit more. Boom, instant sugar rush from all the carbohydrates. And I keep typing. I'm like, oh God. And then I'd get up and get my cup of coffee. We go pour sugary creamer into it, add a couple things of creamer into it or sugar into it. And then we go drink it. We got energy for like another 30 minutes. And then when that wears off, we open our drawer at our desk. We reach in there and we've got our Sour Patch Kids or Reese's Pieces or bag of Doritos or Fritos. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You guys get it? Up and down, this roller coaster. But man, do you really know what you're getting into? Look at this. This doesn't even include the soda or the fortune cookie. The calories in that meal, 1,700 calories. There are 3,300 milligrams of sodium. You're 1,000 milligrams over the daily allotment. 73 grams of fat, 261 grams of carbs, and 63 grams of protein. At this point, the protein doesn't even freaking matter. It's exactly, Geraldine called it. It is a deadly cycle. It is literally a deadly cycle. Now, I want you to take and remember this, what you're looking at and what most people eat and what you probably are eating here and there. And let's compare it to this. Let's say you took some single ingredient foods. You have brown rice, you have grilled chicken, and you have steamed broccoli. Look at the difference. 1,700 calories versus 377. Holy crap. And then when you get down to protein, you've got significantly less protein. You got about half, 33.5 grams. The average human right now that's on this webinar does not need 60 grams of protein in a sitting. You don't. The amount of protein that your muscles can synthesize and your body can use depends on how much muscle mass you have and how hard you work those muscles during the day. About 30 grams is the upper limit of what anybody can, on an average person, can ingest. Other than that, what happens is your body turns it into nitrogen and urea, you pee it out. And if you have too much, it'll eventually turn it into glucose. So while protein is a tool to burn more or use the thermic effect of food, we still don't want to eat way too much of it. Fraction of the fats, look at that, 4.6 compared to 73, 51 grams of carbs coming from fibrous brown rice and broccoli, and only 2.2 grams of sugar. How much of this is going to body fat? What do you guys think? About this much, right? About this much is going to go to body fat if you're not active. Possibly none if you're within the total calories for the day that your body burns. Now, is there an even better option than this? Yeah, let me show you. So, left is the meal I showed you previously with carbs. Right is a ketogenic meal. And so about the same calories, a little less than keto in the ketogenic version. So we took out the carbs, but we added fats. Close in protein, very close. The fats, there are way more. But what happens when you're in ketosis? Your body burns fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. I'm going to talk about that shortly. I know it's counterintuitive, but your body burns fat for fuel instead of carbs. There is no blood sugar spike with the meal on the right. You get a small one on the left. You might stay in range. The one on the right, there's none. You will not have a blood sugar spike. There are 17.2 grams of carbs, but the net carbs are typically BS. They're bullshit. But in this case, it's coming from the cauliflower, the broccoli, and the avocado. It's fibrous carbs. It's insoluble fiber. These are real net carbs. You're ingesting 9 carbs, 4 grams of sugar from the pasta sauce or whatever, but you're still in keto. The protein and everything else will suppress the blood sugar spike. No spike. Yeah, Belinda's saying it right now. So how much of this is getting shuttled to body fat? Big old goose egg. None. If you're within your TDE, none of this is going to body fat. Plus, in between meals, if you're using the meal on the right in a ketogenic state, when you're done ingesting this food and your body's burned all the fats that you just fed it, it's going to go start hunting for other fats for fuel. Instead of looking for carbs and energy crash because you got none, you got to eat. In between meals, it's going to rip it off of your body fat and use that for fuel. And so you have a steady stream of energy and you're destroying your body fat. Literally, you're incinerating body fat in between meals. This is what I'm talking about when I say eat food to burn fat. This is how you do it. Protein, if you eat too much, it can convert to, this is a question by Brittany, it can convert to urea and nitrogen. So you pee it out, nitrogen, urea, you'll pee it out. Or too much, it can convert to glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. So, you eat 180 grams of protein a day and your muscles only synthesize 120. You'll pee some of it out, but some of it will go to glucose. Because calories, guys, super important, really quick. Calories are still the ruling factor. I talk about it on my lives. Stanford proved in 2018 in a study they published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Does not matter what you eat. You burn a certain number of calories a day in a 24-hour period. If you eat more, you don't lose weight. If you eat less, you do. It will convert to glucose if you eat too much. All right. What do you think? Pretty cool? So here's a little rule for you. Here's a takeaway. 3-part plate formula. Have something that has protein, fiber, and healthy fats on your plate. So in this case, if you're doing keto, your fiber would come from your veggies. The fats would be something like avocados, and the chicken would be your protein source. If you're doing carbs, well, your fiber is going to come from your carbohydrates, which would be your brown rice, and then your fats would come from your avocado over there. Well, it's guacamole. It's no sugar guacamole. Remember, processed carbs trigger what? Weight gain and fat gain, leading to blood sugar spikes, leading to fat storage, energy crashes, and cravings. Protein and fiber keep you full and reduce those hunger cravings and help the body burn fat instead of muscle. So if you're having fries, replace them with what? Something like roasted sweet potatoes. If you have soda, replace it with like a Zevia, like a 0-calorie, like sweetened water. Sugary snacks, try nuts or Greek yogurt. Let's play a game here, guys. What I'm going to do is I want you to put in the comments like your favorite food, and I'm going to try to find a healthy alternative for you. So go ahead. Braden, oh, that's a good goal, Braden. I like that. Allergic to avocados. There's many other fat sources we can talk about. Let's see. Brownie. I love it. So you're trying to get chocolate. So in this case, I would take like dark chocolate that has no sugar in it, like just chocolate, like 100% raw chocolate. I would mix it with some nutso, which is an almond butter, and it's got almond butter, cashew butter, and stuff like that. And I'd add some allulose to it, which is a natural sweetener that doesn't raise your blood sugar and it doesn't have any calories. I would mix that together in a bowl. I might even melt it down in a pan, and then I'd freeze it, and then I'd eat it. How about that for a suggestion, huh? You like that? Ice cream? I mean, you could switch to Halo Top if you're okay with erythritol, but you can make Greek yogurt popsicles, and you can freeze those things. Fruit snacks, try actual fruit instead. Chipotle. So Chipotle would be, what do you get there? You usually get like a big burrito or a bowl. You can do the same thing with single ingredients. You can have a lettuce, the whole big thing like a salad style. You can take your choice of your meat that you like. So in this case, maybe it's carne asada or maybe it's steak. You can cook it up, add your own seasonings. You can put it in the bowl, and then you can add an avocado to that if you want to get the fats and add some salsa on it. That's way healthier than Chipotle. How about that? See where I'm going with this? It is actually easy. Once you get into it, once you understand these single ingredient foods and how to do it, it's so much easier. All right. If you're still with me, raise your hand and say aye. I have I've got 3 more steps for you here. If you're finding this useful, raise your hand and say aye. Thank you, Britt. I see you there. Tell me that you're with me still. Good. Shake it out. We got a little bit more time left. We have about 20 more minutes. We can do this. Hey, says Melissa. Okay. So number 3, we got to stop the yo-yo dieting. We need to build a plan that works for you. One of the things I told you is you're going to overcome these cycles of yo-yo dieting. And that's what I had to do. Remember I talked earlier about the crash dieting I would do, the starving myself, the binging, throwing up on my coffee table out there. It was disgusting. I had to call carpet cleaners. Where does it start though? Where do these yo-yo diets start from? They start from these things, fad diets, things that we see on social media, TikTok, Instagram, that sort of stuff. So we'll see people that say, oh, this works. Go fast for 7 days or 5 days. Well, we know that doesn't work. Juice cleanses, they don't work. Why? Why don't these two things work? Or even extreme calorie deficits. Why don't any of these work? Well, when you fast, what happens? You stop eating and then you poop the next day. And so your colon starts releasing all the food that's in it. Well, you're going to lose the weight of the food in your stomach. So, oh, you're like, yay, the scale went down. Cool. Same with a juice cleanse. You're ingesting liquid all day. And you lose some water weight because you don't have a lot of sodium and stuff. That's okay. Then you might burn a little bit of fat on day 3, 4, whatever. Same with an extreme calorie diet. But what happens on day 4 or the end of your fast or your juice cleanse or your extreme diet? What do you do? What do you do at the end of juice cleanse or a fast? Give you a hint. It involves this. You go eat, right? You eat a bunch of food and you gain all the weight back. So now you got the weight of the food in your stomach. You have all the sodium you just ingested, which is going to pack on a ton of water weight. And now you've got all these hunger cravings because the ghrelin hormone has spiked from the carbs and sugars that you ate. And then about an hour and a half later, you're like, I need to eat more because that hormone's high and because you're in scarcity mode. You're like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it. And when you step on the scale the next day, you're up 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds sometimes. I have gained 8 pounds in a day doing crap like this. This is yo-yo dieting at its best. And you must do what's best for your body. You must get this under control if you are ever to be successful. I'm going to show you how to do that momentarily. But also things like fat burners. Fat burners are not sustainable because there are none. Ephedra, ephedrine, clenbuterol, T3. Those are the 4 major fat burners. They are all Schedule 3. You must have a prescription for it, and they're dangerous. I've done them all. I've done every one of those. That's probably why I got some heart problems. I don't recommend it. Clenbuterol in liquid form, it's a bronchial dilator. Like we're talking micro units. Like you have to get the smallest little syringe. Like you're off by a micro unit, you can have a heart attack. That's how dangerous this stuff is. So what's on the market? OxyShred is just expensive caffeine. Doesn't really do anything. The clinical study says we can't prove it helps you lose weight. L-glutamine, L-carnitine, they're amino acids. None of them are going to help you lose weight on the scale. Carnitine is fuel for your mitochondria, and it does oxidize some fat. However, there's been 0 studies that have ever shown you can actually lose weight by taking it. So we get caught up in this stuff, and we take it, and we think we're doing what we need to, and we spend all this money on these things. It doesn't work. And so what happens with all this stuff is you have an experience with the negative emotion that's associated with it. And we create these powerful neurological pathways in our brain. Anytime you have an experience with a negative emotion, your brain's like, I'm out, I'm done. Doesn't want to do it anymore because it knows it's painful. And so we just fail. And we're like, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to go back to doing what I think works, which doesn't, because you're here today. If you do what you've always done, expecting different results, where do you end up? 1, it's the definition of insanity. And 2, you end up right where you started. 0 results. Here in my webinar, that's where you end up. Ready for something different. So how do we get balanced, sustainable eating that gets us over this yo-yo dieting? Well, let's talk about all in first. Who goes all in? When you start a program, and try not to cheat and look ahead. I'm trying to get some real feelings out of you guys. Who goes all in? Who's a person that's like, I'm going on a diet. I'm getting a calorie deficit. I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. I'm doing my cardio. I'm lifting weights and I'm going to do it all. Who does that? Because I'm all in most of the time. But what happens? Look at this, Lynn. Yep. Okay. I like it. I like it. So many me's. This is fantastic. What happens when you go all in like that? What happens with your busy life? What happens? You've got kids, you've got a husband, wife, spouse, whatever. You got your job. Where does this all fit into your schedule? So about 5, 6, 7 days in, maybe a week. There it is. Burnout. You hit burnout every time. So how do we overcome that? We overcome it with an 80-20 rule. I'm going to show this again. I don't make money on these things, so I'm not trying to sell them to you. I'm just trying to show you life. How do I do this? There. Life is about balance, guys. 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're eating on your nutrition plan. 20% of the time, guilt-free, do whatever you want. That's why, like, when I post my pantry and my refrigerator things where I'm showing you what's in it, you'll see things that, like, I don't typically approve of in my videos. But I always say life is about balance. I never judge. And it helps us to just keep a clear mind. It's like, you know what? I am okay to do this every now and then. It's not going to freaking kill me. I know what's going to happen if I do it. I'm going to get set back, but it's okay. I need a little bit of balance. I need to understand that. So energy, good foods, healthy foods, whole foods, nutritious, you're feeling good 20% of the time, room to deviate. Now, if you're going to do this though, remember my domino effect rule. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, because progress is the goal. It's not perfection, it's progress. So my domino effect rule is never miss 2 things in a row. So never miss 2 meals, never miss 2 workouts. So if you skip a workout, no guilt. Just go back the next day and get right back to it. If you cheat on your nutrition plan, no guilt. Or you miss a meal in the day, you're like, crap. Or like you go out and you're just like, oh crap, I had a bag of Sour Patch Kids. Or I had a Reese's or whatever it was. No guilt. Right back on the nutrition plan. Because if you miss 2 in a row, the dominoes start to fall. And now you're back in the yo-yo dieting. But it also works in reverse. If you do 2 in a row of anything, you start building a habit. In a good way, I call them daily disciplines. If you do 2 workouts in a row, you start building that daily discipline. And you start getting yourself on autopilot, which is the trick to all of this, to work it into your schedule by starting slow. So I was talking about all in earlier because I wanted to know who went all in. The trick is just to get into it slowly. Ease into everything. I know that life is about balance. You don't have to go 5 days a week. You can start by going shopping, getting your meal prep done, and doing that for a week and not even worrying about exercise. You'll see crazy results just by doing that. And then week 2, well, let's go for 3 walks and see how that does. Guarantee you'll be like, that was easy. Damn, I had a week to get used to my nutrition and all you're doing, having to do is go for a walk. Okay. And by week 3, now we're going to turn up a little more. But these are daily disciplines. We get you on autopilot. And while we're talking about autopilot and you're creating a routine, when it comes to food, I am a creature of habit. And this is one of the things that got me from those 30 pounds to where I am now, nice and lean, is being a creature of habit and having 5 or 6 things that I enjoy that are very simple go-tos for me. I rotate them instead of like all this overcomplicated planning. Like if you are somebody that's busy, if you're busy, put in the comments. I want to see who's busy, who has a full schedule. It's like, where the hell do I find time to do all this? I want to know who's busy, because if that's you, then it's time to talk. If you like extravagant foods and big meals that taste like amazing, all these flavors, and you want to lay out a big red, tablecloth with candlelight, just do the whole thing where it takes 3 hours to make a meal, good for you. But do you have the time? What's more important to you? Sitting down and having one of these meals, it's like 4-course, 5-course, and just really like living in this moment? Or do you want to get those 30 pounds off your body and get to the goal and then look in the mirror and go, I love who I am. I feel effing confident every day. My jeans are a size whatever. I'm 4 sizes down. I got a nice top on, and I've been wanting to buy this dress at Nordy's, and I went and got it. Okay, that's what you want. So let's be systematic about it, and let's save you time and just get 5 or 6 things that you want. Even though my clients, I give them 3 or 4 recipes per meal. It's all custom for them. They get several meals a day to choose from. They got like, let's see, what's 4 times 5? I give you 5 meals, including snacks, give you 4 recipes. It's 20 to choose from. It's just like, pick the ones you like and let's do it every day. You can do more, but if you meal prep, dude, it's going to go so quick. So much easier. Our commute to work, our commute home. Yeah, look at that. So where are you going to find time to do this? Find 5 or 6 things that are super easy for you and make it happen. The best diet is the one that you stick to for the rest of your life. Not just 30 days. Not just 30 days. What I'm going to do, guys, is in the interest of time, I'm going to blow by this slide. I want to get to the most important secrets here. This is still under yo-yo dieting. And I want to talk to you really quick. This is one of the reasons that things are not sustainable, is because people are like, I go strength training, I go cardio, or do cardio. What is it? What do you guys think? Is it cardio or strength training for fat loss? What do you guys think? I got to give you these two things really quick. It's going to be super important. And we're going to fly through the rest. Cardio or strength training for fat loss? Which is better? Why is there a timer on here? Both strength, cardio. We've got a mix. Okay. Guess what? It's reasons like this that people get stuck in yo-yo dieting. Cardio, 4 times more effective than strength training when it comes to fat loss. Duke University proved it in 2012. 234 participants in that study. It is such a good study. It is still cited up until today. And very quickly, the reason that people believe that strength training is more powerful at fat loss is because it creates this stuff called EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. It's the afterburn effect. So you burn calories while you sleep. Well, guess what? Cardio does it too, and it does it better. The scientist that put out the first study on this, he said at the end, he's like, look, I don't know how to measure this for weight loss because it varies so greatly from person to person. You can't measure that afterburn effect unless you're in a laboratory with the mask on. And I did the calculations like a year and a half ago on my page, and I proved that cardio lives up to this study. Also, when you do low intensity steady state hunger or low intensity steady state exercise, 60 to 75% of your max heart rate reduces hunger cravings. I go get on my treadmill, which is right over here every morning. I'm hungry. I get on that. Within 10 minutes, my hunger cravings are gone and I can last hours. It's these little tiny tricks that make huge, huge differences. But do you have to go 45 minutes like me? No, absolutely not. Start slow, just like I said with everything else. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Go for a walk outside. And then tomorrow, just go 30 seconds more. Just a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. 2 biggest secrets I have for you for this section. If I could do this all over again, here's the 2 things I would do. 1, I would get my ass into ketogenic nutrition. Whole foods first, ketogenic nutrition right away. Why? I know it has a bad rap sometimes. It's because everybody does it wrong. If you do it correctly, you do not have hunger cravings in between meals. It is the fastest way to rip fat off your body. It is healthy. It is a myth that it is not healthy. Unless you have chronic kidney disease or unless you have kidney failure, it is not going to affect your kidneys at all. It balances your blood sugar. You burn fat for fuel instead of carbs. You have steady energy all day long. Your bad cholesterol goes down. Your good cholesterol goes up. Your blood pressure normalizes. That sounds pretty freaking good, right? And by the way, type 2 and prediabetes, I can completely reverse prediabetes and put type 2 in remission with ketogenic nutrition. I've done it thousands of times. That's how powerful this stuff is. That's how powerful. Number 2. 16-8 intermittent fasting. 13 years of studies and data points, thousands of data points. People that did a 16-8 intermittent fasting regimen lost weight. Majority of them did because they subconsciously put themselves in a deficit. It's easier. Your body enters ketosis whether you want to or not. It is powerful. Are you feeling this? Right? 2018 to keto and lost 25 pounds. There you go. It's in the comments. Look at that. Look at that. All right, let's set you up for some success. Number 4, let's simplify all this and save you some damn time. All right, you ready to save some time? Raise your hand, say aye. Let's save some time on this. You guys know what analysis paralysis is? It's thinking too hard about options, what we need to do. Or it's having too many options and you can't make a decision. So basically, like, do I do keto? Do I do carbs? Do I do pescatarian? Do I do vegetarian? Should I do cardio or strength training to lose fat? Do I follow this influencer or do I follow this influencer? What? It's just too many decisions. It's too much. Analysis paralysis. We're just thinking, so we just go back to doing what we've always done, and it gets you right back here. But with nutrition, like I said earlier, we just got to get you on autopilot, and it removes the analysis paralysis. So here's a couple of things that's going to help you out. Prep smarter, not harder. Choose 5 staple ingredients: protein, carbs, veggies, healthy fats, spices. Mix and match to create healthy meals. Yes, it takes some time to do meal prep. Sure does. Sundays and Wednesdays when I do it. 1 hour on Sundays, 1 hour on Wednesdays. Cook for an hour. Put them all in Tupperware. You got meals for 3 days. It's that easy. Pull a couple of them out, take them to work with you. When you do that, guess what? You're not reaching for the drawer at work. You're not going to Panda Express on your lunch. You're not failing because you don't have what you need. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Time-saving hacks. If you don't like cooking veggies, you don't want to, go get frozen vegetables. Just get them without maltodextrin or dextrose. Just look for like just broccoli in the ingredients. Flip it over. Look at the ingredients list. If it just says broccoli, you're good. Asparagus, you're good. Peas, you're good. Get them that way. It takes a minute in the microwave. Same with like pre-cooked brown rice. I get them at Costco. Little brown rice containers, 90 seconds in the microwave. I'm done. Easy. And I can pre-cook it in the microwave for 90 seconds and dump it in one of my meal prep containers. Then I just heat the whole thing up with the protein, the veggies, the carbs, like you name it. It's super fast. How do you outsmart cravings? It's just like I said. It's those food swaps. Keep the healthy snacks on hand. Greek yogurt, nuts, healthy protein sources that I've talked about. Keep those in like a little lunch thing with an ice pack. Who doesn't have a lunchbox here? I've got a little soft one I take everywhere. I just throw an ice pack in it. Get the kids' ice packs. It's super easy. Sandra, doing it as you, I love it. Yes, I love this. Okay. Adapt your approach to your lifestyle. So like I said earlier, if you're busy, prioritize quick recipes over complicated meals where you light the candles and you got, all this crazy stuff going on and it's this big extravagant meal. Quick. What do you want more? You want a big extravagant meal with a lot of variety, or do you want to lose those goddamn 30 pounds? Because me, I want to lose those effing 30 pounds and I want to get to the goal. That is the whole point that we're here, as fast as humanly possible, as sustainable as humanly possible. The easier you make healthy eating, the more likely you will stick to it and you will succeed for the first time in a long time. I'm going to blow by this too because we're running out of time. The last thing I want to talk about, how to track your progress. If you can measure it, you can manage it. And part of the reason that people fail, and part of the reason I failed, is I refused to step on that damn scale. I refused to do what I knew I needed to do. I just was like, oh, wing it. And before I knew it, I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, that doesn't fit right. And oh my God, I pull up my pants in the morning and this muffin top over the side. And then there were some pants I couldn't even pull on. I'm like, holy crap, these don't fit anymore. That's what happens when you don't manage it. But there is so much more beyond the scale. I call them non-scale victories. And so this slide, I know it's clip art, but it's pretty descriptive. A non-scale victory would be like on the left. We've got a woman here who, when she puts her pants on, instead of having a muffin top, you're like, hey, I might need to go buy a new pair of pants. This is kind of cool. They're getting loose. I can feel that. Or the person in the center who's got Popeye arms, got big hands like me. That's your battery being refilled on the top. You have steady energy all day long. That's a non-scale victory. If you start doing these steps that I talked about from step 1 to now, and you start noticing, I got more energy. That's a non-scale victory. You're heading in the right direction. Or you put your shirt on and it fits the way you thought it would. Or you grab a smaller one out of your closet that you kept from 10 years ago. You're like, oh my God, I fit this. That's a good non-scale victory, right? Keep track of these things. Put in the comments right now, what is your non-scale goal? Somebody tell me what your non-scale goal is. Is it a pair of pants? Is it a shirt? Is it going on a vacation somewhere where you need to be in a bathing suit? Is it going to work and wearing a certain type of clothing that you don't feel comfortable in, that's a little more professional so that you can go get that promotion that you want? Pair of jeans, fitting into old pants. I like it. Bikini body, role model for my kids. Vacation soon. That's a good one, because if you're going on vacation, you've already bought the tickets, the plane tickets, the cruise tickets, whatever it is. You spent the money. You're ready for that non-scale victory, right? Fitting in the bikini. I see a lot of fitting in the bikinis. Yeah, better digestion. Getting back into the size 10. Hallelujah, honey. I hear you. Healthy GI. These are non-scale victories that are all trackable. This is important. I want you guys to pay close attention. What is my definition of hell? My definition of hell is getting to the pearly white gates and then being told all of the things that I could have accomplished in my life, all of the things I could have done or could have been, these amazing experiences I could have had if I had only lived life to my fullest potential, if I had only been more confident, if I'd only set my goals and followed through. That's my definition of hell. What do you need to do right now to not achieve your goal? What is the one thing you need to do right now to not achieve your goal? Not take action. If you continue doing what you have always done and you end the night tonight without putting these steps into play or taking action, you will end up right where you were before you started this webinar, and it is in pain. It is waking up tomorrow and looking in the mirror and being exactly where you are right now with no progress. And the pain of doing that for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's going to stack up and it's going to hold you down. Imagine being unconfident and holding your head low every time you walk out that front door, or knowing that those jeans don't fit, and not going to your boss and asking for that promotion because you weren't confident, not going on that vacation, not having good GI tract digestion, and it held you back from doing all those things that you wanted to do in your life. And all you have to do is take action now. If you're ready to take action now, raise your hand. If you are ready to live life to the fullest potential, put it in the comments and say, yes, yes, I want to live life to the fullest potential. I am looking for those people right now. I wouldn't be presenting this to you if I didn't have a solution. So here are my promises to you. If you do what I tell you, you will absolutely achieve your dream physique. You will lose 1 to 3 pounds a week. That is guaranteed. That is sustainable weight loss based on science. You will not be limited by your health. And you will become the very best version of yourself. And you're going to get a whole new level of confidence. And you'll get me and my team as your personal mentors. Sounds pretty badass, right? I want to share with you a couple of my clients that have been huge impacts on my life. This is Madison. She's one of my favorites. Same girl. Dropped 14 pounds of fat, 5 months on my program. Tone and strong body. No experience with training and nutrition. Huge smile afterwards. Saved $97 a month because she stopped eating out, started eating on the meal plan. This is Summer Zickathus. 6 months, 40 pounds down. How about the smile on her face? Does that scream confidence to you? She learned balance. She's got a great social life now, and she saved almost $90 a month on food. And then this is Martina Duran. 19 pounds down. She's a college athlete. Gained some muscle in the process. Became better at her sport. Saved almost $162 a month on food. Here's what happens when you follow the plan that I'm laying out for you. In month 1, you're going to drop 6 to 10 pounds. A lot of it's going to be water, which is okay, because that's going to help slim everything up. You're going to have a more toned body. You're going to feel more energy. You'll have more confidence in that first month. Months 2 to 4, you'll feel stronger. And yeah, honey, you're going to feel sexier. Of course, because things are starting to fit better. Weight loss will really start to show. You're into the full fat burning at that time. This is a whole period of fat burning. The new lifestyle that you're doing, you're on autopilot. It starts to get really easy. These daily disciplines start kicking in. Willpower fades, but daily disciplines last a lifetime. And then months 4 to 6, 20 to 32 pounds down is what you're going to see if you stick with this and you do everything I tell you to. You'll have unbeatable confidence like you've never had before. And your mindset will be one where you believe and you are showing yourself that anything is possible. Does this sound incredible to you? Because I watch every day as people make their lives incredible by choice. Now we got the fun part coming up here momentarily. But before we get there, this is where we part ways. There are 2 types of people right now. There are 2% of you that saw this presentation and you want confidence. You want that dream physique. You want that high energy level. You want everything that we just talked about. You want to live your life to the fullest potential. You want it all. And there are 98% of you that want to wait a bit. You might be sluggish, a little demotivated, no drive right now, and you just kind of want to go back to scrolling on your phone tonight. And that's okay. But if you're the 98%, you're welcome to leave now. If you are the 2%, I have something very special for you. But I want to know who that 2% is. I want you to put 2% in the chat right now. If you are somebody that wants to live life to the fullest potential, you want more confidence, you want to do everything that's on that bucket list, you want a happier, healthier life, you want to do it easier, you want to drop that 30 pounds, put 2% in the chat right now. I want to see who it is. I want to see my 2%ers. I want to know who's motivated right now. I want to see who I'm talking to. 2%, 2%, 2%. I love it. 2%. We might have more than 2%. I might have an entire webinar full of extremely motivated 2%ers here. This is what I'm talking about. All right. So for my 2%, here's what I got for you. If you start with Glow today, I have a laundry list of things for you. I'm going to waive the setup fee for you. There's no setup fee for you whatsoever. You will have coaching for an additional month beyond whatever you sign up for. I will give you 1 free month on us. Unlimited meal plans, all the variety that you could possibly need. You're going to get unlimited communication with my team, and you're going to get a lifetime of free access to my app. So usually when coaching is over, we're done. That's it. I'm going to let you stay in the app for free for the rest of your life. As long as I have this app up and running, as long as Glow's here and it's not going anywhere, you're going to have access to it. And you get a 100% money back guarantee. I'm going to show you the value, but I'm going to tell you that's not what I'm going to give it to you for. It's going to be way less. The value is $2,300 per month. But what I'm going to do, don't leave. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make you an incredible offer tonight because you are so damn motivated for my 2%ers. I'm going to give it to you for a little bit more than the price of a Starbucks Frappuccino a day. If you can give up a Starbucks and you probably spend more. You probably go to Starbucks, you get your drink, and you probably have the egg white bites and something else, and you probably eat somewhere else. If you can give that up a day, you can afford what I'm offering you. And you're going to get all this value for the cost of a Frappuccino a day. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to put the link in the chat, and then we're going to pin it. I'm going to pin it to the top, and I'm going to pin it to the on-air chat. That way it's pinned. It's pinned at the top. Excuse me. Go click that right now and go get that offer. So what I do is I have my team standing by. You're going to fill out the form, and then Clay, Shannon, Christine, one of them's going to reach out and contact you tonight. Go find time to get on a phone call with them. It might even be tonight. I'm hoping it's tonight for most of you. We're going to go right down the order. I do have a wait list, but anybody that comes from this webinar and clicks that link and signs up, you have top priority. I will make spots for you tonight with my team. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to make change, to do it faster, to have the same results that I did, to work with me and my team. This is the opportunity right now for you. If you go back to doing what you did before, you get the same results, which is 0, or you seize the day. Do not let the sun go down on today. Do not go to sleep without taking action. It is time. The link is at the top. So scroll to the top. It should be right at the top for you guys. If it's not there, Britt, can you put it in again? Britt's putting it in consistently for you guys so you can see it. My bags are ready to come move in with you. Let's go. Get on over here. Angie, if you joined us, yes, you can absolutely qualify for this. All you need to do is reach out to support@GabbiAlonTuft.com. Britt, will you please put the support address in there, and we will take care of you. I'm happy to offer this to you. I'm so glad you joined yesterday. The link doesn't work. Did we crash it? Hang on a sec. Did we crash it, Britt? We have too many people? This is the wrong link, Brett. Let me put it. Hang on, guys. It is webinar, and then it is this one. Oh, wait. Is it the right one? Hang on, guys. Hang on. We crashed it. We had too many 2%ers jump in there. Britt, can you investigate what's happening really quick and let me know? We literally crashed it. Oh, my God. Y'all crashed it. Okay. Well, here's the deal. Britt, if it's not working, here, I'm gonna unmute you and add you to the stage. Hey, Britt, can you let me know what the deal is? Hang on, guys. We're gonna get this situated right away for you.
Yes, I am on with them right now.
Okay. Here's
Uh,
here's option here's option 2. What we can do is I can put my usual form in there, and when it comes down to the code, I just want you guys to put webinar in. Okay. Here it is. So here it is. Just go to my homepage. When you fill out the form, just put webinar in. Okay. As the code. I'm gonna put it right now. Code webinar. And let's see. I'm going to pin this to the top until Britt gets it taken care of for you guys.
yes, T minus maybe 2
Perfect.
seconds.
So go to my homepage, go to coachgabbi.com, fill out the form there. When you get to the end, just put webinar. That's it in the code. That's going to trigger my team to know that you came right from this webinar. Yeah, I apologize for that, guys. I think we had too many people jumping on it. We crashed it. Does it work?
Everybody.
Okay. Sorry. Original link works. Okay. Try it now. Britt's got it. It's crazy. Like when you guys are motivated, this is the stuff that happens. I'm not anticipating so many people to come in and do it. So either one's going to work. You can go to the homepage, you can type webinar in, or you can go to the one that Britt has right here, which has the entire offer on it for you guys. That'll get you in. But take action. Taylor filled it out. Yes, there you go. Marina filled it out. Here we go. So look for a text from Clay, Shannon, or Christine. Set up a phone call. If you can get on a phone call with them tonight, do it. Do not let the sun go down without taking action. Remember, you do what I tell you to do. You do what my team tells you to do. You will see incredible, incredible results. Britt, do we have can we pin this to the top? Let me pin this upstairs.
Yes. For those of you, I think there's 2 of you that said you already have calls scheduled or you completed the form before webinar. Please just tell Clay, Shannon,
Christine.
No, Christine, sorry, my brain. And they'll
yes.
work.
Once if for any reason you didn't say anything about the webinar and you filled out the form, you got to it before we got you, just tell them like, hey, I was in the webinar. I want the deal. I want the slightly more than a Frappuccino a day deal. That's all you got to tell them. Jennifer, what was the issue there? Let's see. You said me either. Let me see it, honey. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit. I'm going to turn off my, says you missed the webinar deal. Don't worry, guys. Then go to coachgabbi.com. Oh, Britt, you posted the late one. It says late. Nope. Here, we're abandoning that. I'm done. We're just going to do this. I want you to go to coachgabbi.com. Good old, here.
Gabbi, that late one does work. It's fine. It says late, but it's fine.
Well, we have so many confusions here. I'm just going to have you guys just go to my homepage and put webinar in the code. So I'm so sorry for that. We're just having all sorts of technical issues. You did not miss the deal. I promise. Nobody missed the deal. If you put webinar in the code, so coachgabbi.com, fill out the form, put webinar, you get the deal. End of story. It's that easy. I know we had technical difficulties, but it's because there's so many motivated people. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Make the choice. Coachgabbi.com, webinar in the code when it asks for it at the very end of that little form that you fill out. And then we'll see you. Clay, Shannon, Christine's going to reach out to you. You think you did it? Karen, we'll make sure you did it. Don't worry, honey. If you already filled it out, you're good. We'll make sure. And like I said, when Clay, Shannon, or Christine reach out to you, just tell them I was in the webinar. I want the damn deal. And we'll be like, let's go, honey. We got you covered. Britt's already told the team. Oh, thank you, Britt. Britt's already told the team what's going on. They are well aware. We got you covered. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to log off here. I'll leave this up for a couple minutes so you guys can see it in case you have any questions. I want to say thank you for your time. And thank you for making the choice to be the best you could possibly be. And thank you for changing your life. This is what I live for. I live for seeing this with you guys. Okay. Have a wonderful